Welcome to Who's the Worst Designed Character. And I'm in here with Scooter in his garage because, let's be honest, we're going to miss Scooter. Spoiler alert. Anyways, so yesterday I put up who I thought the best designed character was, who was Timothy, the doppelganger, or playable Handsome Jack. And here I'm in Borderlands 2 for what I think is the worst designed character. Now, if you watched that video and read the comments, someone asked me about this, and I kind of said a little bit what I think, but some other people put up some ideas. So, I guess, who do I think it is? Gaige. I don't think Gaige isn't fun, and I don't think Gaige sucks, but I think she's pretty poorly designed. I don't think her action skill matches up well or has much synergy with her. And she's just got a ton of terrible skills and terrible class mods. And this is more about the action skill and skill trees, but class mods go with that too, I think. And maybe part of this is just the pre-sequel. I think they did a really good job with class mods. Like, there aren't really bad class mods in the pre-sequel. Maybe Claptrap has some. I'm not as familiar with him. But I know, like, most of the other characters, at least the ones I spent some time with, mainly Athena, Jack, and Aurelia, pretty much all their class mods are good. They don't have bad ones. They have really great ones, but they don't really have too many bad ones. So, Gaige here. Death Trap. I think Death Trap is... I really like the idea of Death Trap. I like how when you... excuse me. Give him skills, he changes his appearance, but he's derpy as all hell. You can't recall him. Half of his skills actually hurt him more than they help him. A lot of times he goes off and spawns enemies you don't want to spawn. He's not always there for boss fights. And then in a lot of boss fights, he doesn't go and melee them. He uses his stupid eye beam, which doesn't do as much. So he's just kind of like this weird, like, aggro relief. You can make him good by doing some of the shield swapping, but let's be honest, that's a pain in the ass. So yeah, I think Death Trap is kind of a bad action skill. And he could be a good action skill if they kind of reworked him. And a big part of this is I hope, if in Borderlands 3 they bring back old Vault Hunters, I hope they really rework Gaige. Because she's got a lot of potential. And she can be really good. This isn't about her being bad, it's just... she's got so much bad crap. So let's just go through the skill trees. Anarchy. Now, I almost think Anarchy should have just been her action skill. You can't really play her without Anarchy. Because she doesn't really have any other damage bonuses. This is almost it. So it's really hard to play without Anarchy with Gaige. So just embrace it and make that her action skill. And make Death Trap his old Vault Hunter. That would be cool. So, this is good here. Pre-shrunk Cyberpunk. This is about the only good ability for Death Trap. It just makes him melee attack faster, which is good. Blood-choked shields, this is awesome. So far, so good. This is good. Discord is pretty much necessary. Annoyed Android, this helps Death Trap. This helps. And one nice thing they did do with Gaige, they gave her more game changers than other characters had, and I like that. But here you go for bad. Death from Above. This is just terrible. It consumes Anarchy stacks and it doesn't do shit for damage. So yeah, this doesn't really help you much. Nth Degree is really cool, but the problem is it's got this diminishing return. So every 9th bullet, 8th, 7th, 6th, 5th. So the way they set it up, it just doesn't... It doesn't often pay to put 5 points into it unless you're really using weapons that take advantage of it. And then with claws just isn't good either. So here you have a tree where the top half is really good, but the entire bottom half is kind of shit. I'm going to go respec to get rid of those points here. And it's a bad capstone. Bad capstones are just bad. You want a reason to go down a tree, not a reason not to go down a tree. Then we have her shock tree here. And this tree kind of sucks, partially because the game didn't scale well with dots, but partially too, it's just not very good. So, tier 1, this isn't bad, but it's just not that good either. Like 10% ignite chance, who cares? Why can't they all just be 20? Like, it's such a low number. Like, this is less than Flicker, and Flicker is kind of a meh skill. And at least Flicker gets Slag pretty big, like 10% more Slag chance, who cares? That's shit. This isn't bad. Shield capacity is always good, but in shock damage resistance helps your shield capacity better, so but nothing great here in tier 1. Shock Storm, this just doesn't do damage. Like most rank skills, the damage on it sucks. So this is a fail. The Stare actually makes Death Trap do less damage most of the time, because he kind of takes a while to do it, and it doesn't do that much damage. He's better off just meleeing enemies, so this actually hurts Death Trap. Strength 5 Girls is good, because he's mainly doing melee, add more melee damage. But it's not a ton of damage, 15%. You get to Electrical Burn. If you really spec into this and push this hard, you can kind of make a build around this and make it decent, but it's still not like fantastic. And this is one of her better skills in this tree. Shock and Awe. Yeah, again, doesn't do much. This is only really good for kind of stunning enemies as they come at you. That's about it. So it's, I guess, could be worth a point, but it could also blow up barrels near you and fuck you. This helps make Electrical Burn, but you really have to go all in to make these work. These aren't skills you can just spec into. You've got to really invest into making these good. 1-2 Boom, this kills Death Trap. It's like the Spirit Bomb, and you guys hopefully have watched Dragon Ball Z, when it took Goku like 12 episodes to charge up the Spirit Bomb, then another 12 episodes to throw it, and that was like an entire season. That's what this is. It takes him forever to throw it. Your chances of... It's annoying to hit because you're Gaige and you don't have accuracy. And when you do hit it, it doesn't even really do much cool shit. So it's stupid, and it really hurts Death Trap. Warriors Don't Talk. So this theoretically is cool because it's a multiplicative skill if you're using Shock. And combined with like Electrical Burn and stuff, it's got potential, but the problem here is matching elements. So if you match Fire and Flesh, you have a 75% bonus damage. Well, this is 15%, and if you boost it with a Calm, you can get up to 33%. So you're better off just matching elements and just going with shock weapons. This is cool because there's a lot of good shock-only weapons in the game, like the Twister, and the Twister on Gaige is amazing. So if you were kind of going around those kind of guns, it's really good. And how good Gaige can make the hail, and then throw this on top of that helps. So it can be good, but it's not great, because it's still not as good as just matching elements at the end of the day. So it's still not bad, but it should be 30% at 5 out of 5, and then 66% with a Calm boosting at 11 out of 5, and that way it's barely under matching elements, and you don't have to swap, and then theoretically you do have more DPS because you're not swapping. But it's not. It's 15%. Especially when fucking Sal's got like 480% multiplicative on like Money Shot and No Kill like Overkill and all those crazy huge numbers. You're like, oh, here's Gaige with 15%. It's really dumb. So this is a pretty good skill for slagging. It's not like guaranteed slag, but it does help you slag. It does, do some more damage, but it's so deep in this tree. And the problem with this, you have to get through all these kind of crappy skills to get to it. That you can't really pick this up unless you're going for a shock build. And that's what really sucks. And then make it sparkle. This doesn't really. If you're this far deep, you don't get it. But it's not worth going down here to get it. It's not that great of a capstone once again. And then you go over here. So far our synergy with Death Trap is shit and shit. There's actually more bad skills for Death Trap than good skills so far, I think. Oh, maybe not, because like Annoyed Android and With Claws are both good. And then this is good. And then too bad, so not quite, but pretty close. So we'll go here, like close enough with Anarchy. This is amazing, and this is awesome. Cooking Up Trouble is really cool. The Better Half is really cool, because that's a big fire rate bonus, is you get to the second half of your magazine. Passive health regen is cool. Close Enough is just freaking amazing. We know that, especially with Anarchy. Fancy Mathematics. Some people think this is a little redundant with Blood-Soaked Shields, but this is a really good. This is a really good shield skill. Buck Up can be good. The problem is when you're in Fight for Your Life, Death Trap, instead of going and helping you kill enemies and getting you out of Fight for Your Life, he's putting a shield on you when you're in Fight for Your Life. But then there's the Rough Rider. A lot of times Sal and Krieg or even like Breakneck and Shimayas will wear it, and then he just goes around, instead of helping you kill things, he's just trying to restore shields, and it's really stupid and annoying. So half the time it's good, half the time it's terrible. Also, because she's got things like Fancy Mathematics and Blood-Soaked Shields, I don't really think it's that necessary, and you'd be better off just having Death Trap go and kill shit. Potent as a pony, it's just not that great. The health bonus is okay, especially for Gaige, and Death Trap's got a lot of health, so 10% on him is actually pretty decent. But I mean, if you're kind of doing health gate stuff, it's not good, and it's just not that great. Upshot Robot, here's a good Death Trap one. You get him out longer, and he gets more melee damage, so this is pretty great. No complaints there. Unstoppable Force, I like this too. It's another good shield skill. So Gaige has got a lot of good shield skills, but it's a kill skill, and Blood-Soaked Shields is killing as well, so you don't really need them both. The movement speed is awesome. I mean, I guess it can help if you restore your shield, you get hit. This will be active for 7 seconds, so it still can kind of help you, but it's kind of redundant. You have Made of Sterner Stuff, which it's just not enough. 5%. You're not going to notice 5%. Explosive Clap. So here's another one. Like, the damage on this thing I think is pretty good, but the problem is he knocks back the enemies, and then he's got to sit there for a second and then fly over to those enemies again, or hover over to them and then attack them again. So it actually lowers his DPS. So there's another skill for him that's not that good. Cooldown's always good. And 30%, especially on a long cooldown, is huge. So that's good. But, so Sharing is Caring, this is her best. Her best capstone is Sharing is Caring. The thing is, for Jack, that skill is right here. And the problem with this is, like, putting a melee shield on Death Trap, especially like the Height of Terra, makes him incredibly powerful melee. But it's not a good shield for Gaige. So you can do that trick where, you have that on, you Death Trap somehow. How the hell is... Have I just been on my menu that whole time so he hasn't recharged? That's lame. So you can put out Death Trap. Wait for it. And let's wait for it some more. And some more. And some more. So now Death Trap has that shield. And I can now change my shield. So now I have a shield that's good for me. Death Trap's got that shield. Everyone's happy. But to do that every time you put out Death Trap, pause, switch shields, pause, switch shields, it's annoying. And it kind of like takes you out of the game. So I don't like that. I get that it's helpful and good, but it kind of ruins the experience. So, you know, this is good, but is this capstone good? Not really. I mean, I guess you can kind of do the Flame of the Firehawk, because Gaige likes to be up close anyways because of Anarchy, and that's kind of good for both of them. So there are some shields that are good for both of them. But, yeah, it's not really great. So this tree is probably one of our more solid trees. It doesn't have as many bad things, but there's nothing outside of close enough and maybe better half. There's no really like awesome skills in this tree. It's just a whole lot of that's okay, that's okay, that's okay, that's okay. There's really nothing that amazing in it. And you know, when I went over to was doing Jack, there was so much synergy between like right here for him would have been his grenade, just compensation, and then you have Jack's cash here, so you can throw grenades on kills. Then you had leadership over here, which made the Jack's death count as kills, so you can constantly have like unlimited grenades. And then when you throw grenades over here was a skill, marginal benefits, that reloaded your guns when you throw grenades or had a chance to. And you had all that crazy synergy like across these skill trees, and like you go to Gaige and there's just none of that. The Death Trap stuff just doesn't seem to go with the Anarchy. The Anarchy is kind of self-contained over here, and the Anarchy doesn't even go well with the Anarchy tree as you get down into it. It kind of stops here, maybe at Rational Anarchist, but you know, the bottom three are kind of meh skills, and then Anarchy doesn't really have any synergy with anything over here. You know, you have really one good damage skill in this tree outside of Anarchy. In this one, you have that DPS of the fire rate, but that's really, I guess, close enough is a really good DPS too. That works with Anarchy. But like, here's her only synergy is like this and Anarchy. It's not a lot. And then we go to her class mods. And I didn't put all of her class mods in her backpack like I did to Jack. I just kind of went over her legendary ones, because this game's got a lot of legendary ones. Well, Slayer of Terrors kind of suck for everyone. But that's got some kind of point on her, because you can get like a ton of Anarchy stacks with +4 in here. So you can get up to 600 Anarchy stacks. Yeah, so 150 plus 450. So there's something there. In her spread outburst, you know, this really makes it good for slagging, a lot better chance. But it's kind of hard to get through, and I don't know, they're only +4s like all these. Fancy Mathematics is good. Made of Sterner stuff is kind of dumb. So it doesn't boost terrible skills, but all the Slayers, they're all just burn chance and burn damage, which is only the dots. They increase your health, which goes against health gating, and they're not even good at increasing your health, because that health increase is after the percentage based things. So it's not like you can do that and really health stack by wearing like Blood of the Ancients to increase your health percent, because this would come after that. So it's like it's stupid. So Legendary Roboteer. So passive on this is cooldown and melee damage. Cool. Strength 5 gorillas. But This melee damage, if I am correct, is not for Death Trap. It's for Gaige. Now, if that was melee damage for Death Trap, that would be cool, because with this and this, and making him have more damage and more health, and cooldown would be really cool. So this is, this is your Death Trap comm, and the skills all match up to that pretty well. So I like all that. It makes a lot of sense, and that's a lot of cooldown between the two of those, which helps. He's got a terribly long cooldown. But that melee damage is not for him, it's for Gaige, which is really dumb. Legendary Catalyst. So this is your shock comm. As you can see, it's... Am I missing a skill? Oh no, there it is. So it's all in this tree. And that's cool. I like the fact that they made a comm all on one tree. And team elemental effect damage again, but it's only dot damage. And fuck it, it's probably one of the worst team comm effects in the game. Because dots don't really do shit, so who cares if you boost them from shit to shit. But, more pep, I already kind of said this is pretty crappy, so who cares? At 10 out of 5 here, it's still not much. The rest of this, you can make it work because, I'm not doing a proper build here, just speccing into these so you can see them. But but it's still, again, that problem is still only 30%. Electrical burn, 5 out of 5 is only 20%. That's so lame. It should be higher than at 10 out of 5 it's only 40%. That's the problem with electrical burn. And this increases that damage 60%. So you can make this good, but the team effect, if this was just a low percentage of elemental damage, not effect damage, I get you can't make that high because Bone of the Ancients and everything, and it's such a big boost. But 10% maybe something. I don't know. I don't really. This is one of her better ones. Legendary Necromancer. So with this, cooking up trouble, that helps. Actually, I should go to the passive first. Cooldown rate 47%. That's solid. So this is good. 4% per second when your magazine is full. That's definitely helpful. This is crazy good at 120%. And more cooldown here, that's great. But then again, more pep sucks. Smaller, lighter, faster. Yeah, actually, that's amazing percent. It's only 9. That's a big reload speed. So, but then strength of 5 gorillas. I guess that's pretty good for Death Trap. So all in all, this isn't terrible either. So that's 2 decent ones. All right. So the legendary Anarchist. This helps you stack really fast. With this, again, better half. That's pretty good for the reload speed. Mylan, strength of 5 gorillas, and unstoppable force. I don't know. It's not really boosting anything great here. Unstoppable force is good, but it's kind of redundant with blood-soaked shields, which you're probably going to have over here. This is good. This is meh. Just not that impressive.
Let's see what we got here.
And I feel like I'm missing one. Did I do all 5 already? I did. So that's all of her legendary comms. And they're not that great. And then you go to her other comms, it's kind of the same issue. She's got a lot of those that are just really bad. So, yeah, Gaige, she just kind of seems kind of tossed together randomly. And I don't know if they released her too early, because she came out pretty soon after the game came out. She was the first DLC, I believe. She was out before Scarlet's, kind of within a month of the game's release. And she has a lot of cool ideas. I think Anarchy and Close Enough as a concept is awesome. I think personality-wise, kind of story-wise, she's really interesting and fun and unique. Anarchy and Close Enough, once again, is a really kind of like unique play style. I kind of resented the fact girlfriend mode because it insinuates that like girls are bad at video games. So I think that was a kind of a misstep by the Gearbox marketing team. Came off pretty bad. But yeah, I just think Death Trap doesn't make sense with her. She's kind of based around Anarchy, which is like this half-ass skill tree that has a good top and shitty bottom, when maybe that should have just been the action skill. Most Death Trap stuff is bad. There's really almost no synergy across the trees. And even within the trees, I guess Little Big Trouble's got a little synergy. Her slag skill is too deep on a skill tree that can be not worth going down. Her capstones all suck, pretty much. Yeah. And despite all that, Gaige is awesome because Anarchy and Close Enough are that good. So she could have been so much more and so more versatile, but she's not. So that is Gaige. I had to throw some things out of my backpack there to be able to not have anything equipped, so you didn't know who I had at the beginning of the video. So yeah, tell me what you guys think. The most common one I think I'm going to hear is Sal. The reason I didn't go with Sal is, yes, Gunzerking is stupid and overpowered, and there's a glitch fest like no tomorrow with his skills, but he's also got ridiculous synergy. The fact that, he's got this Gunzerking and all these fire rate boosts, and he's got not only the ammo consumption, but kind of ammo negation as well in skills to help him so he can keep shooting. He's got, the ability to almost permanent Gunzerk through a bunch of cooldown skills, which keeps him kind of powerful because outside of Gunzerking he can get pretty weak. The fact that you have Money Shot plus Inconceivable, so you can change Money Shots. Like, although it's brokenish and Money Shot is too powerful, the two of those things combined do have a lot of cool synergy. So I think Sal works better as a character, even if he's broken and OP. Where Gaige just has so much shit that doesn't work. And yes, Sal's Brawn Tree's got a bunch of stuff that's not that great, but at the same time, it's got a lot of really good stuff in it. So that's why Gaige still kind of comes out over top of Sal for me. Because Sal's just got some better working skill trees, where Gaige has got kind of two bad skill trees and one decent one. And Sal's at least got good capstones, where Gaige doesn't. So, and like Sal's melee skill of knocking people back and drawing aggro actually makes sense, where Gaige's melee stuff is just stupid. So, yeah. That is what I think is the worst designed character, even though I think it's a fun character and a very good character. I think it's poorly designed and she should have been much better. But that doesn't mean she should have been more powerful. She just should have been better. Death Trap should have been better. Death Trap should have made sense. So yeah, once again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys later. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so. And I don't know, I might do some more videos along the topic of this. I'll have to find different categories to think of. So thank you once again, and I'll see you later. Bye.